Last of
That
Us.
seems cool.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Two Nerds, One Quest. I am your host and DM, JC Dittmer. I am fluent in over 4,000 means of communication. I am here with these nerds because we are all here today. The way I approached that, I sounded like C-3PO to myself, so I just went with it. That man at the bottom pointing at me, shaking his head and nodding his one Tom M. Norman. How are you doing, sir?
C-3PO is a stretch, I would have to say. I'm great.
Yeah, I'm way too fat to fit in that chrome suit or gold suit.
It's like it'd be like the barf version of C-3PO.
Barf.
What was her name? There was, and it was Joan Rivers that did the character voice.
I
can't think of her name. Anyways, that man above me on my screen, I don't know where he is on yours, is one Ryan Crixus Kukta wearing the Super Mario shirt today, looking fly.
Town, what's up, gentlemen? Happy Sunday morning. Ready to rock and roll with some Dungeons and Dragons action nonstop.
Hopefully we do better than the Brewers did. Get our hopes up and then shatter them.
Dot Matrix.
Dot Matrix.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Dot. That's right. Yep. Nice pull. Good Google food right there. And last but not least, the lore master, the limerick maker, the lazy dragon, our lovable genius, Jeff Williams. How you doing this morning, sir?
Yeah, not crew anymore for.
No, it just rolled off the tongue to say lovable crew on it. So I'm like, lovable genius may be the moniker we go with. That seemed to fit well.
Yeah, lovable pepper doesn't really have the same ring to it.
No.
Hot pepper. Hot pepper.
Hot pepper. Hot pepper.
She's 16, Cooch.
Luscious?
She's 18.
No.
She's 18. We made her 18.
She's legal.
Did you?
She's legal.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's much better. I'm 45, man.
But your character's 100.
That is also accurate.
That's even worse. Although at 100 for an elf, he's what?
Yeah,
20?
still a baby.
Heyo. So, Jeff, besides all the titles I gave you, you do recaps for us. Would you like to give us one of those?
Yes, and I thought it was going to be a short recap, but we had only a short battle, so there's actually quite a bit to recap. So we started the last session bringing the prisoner back to the Abbey to meet with the Marshal and Millie. A Zone of Truth spell was cast for the interrogation, and everybody had to speak truth except for Pepper and Sue. We learned of the leader of this group of what are they called now? Defias, yeah. His name is Garrick, and that he potentially had a hideout in the mountains. The prisoner was only willing to talk after he was granted safety and sanctuary for him, and I think his family also. So we collected our rewards, the case of wine, and we got a grapey bag of holding. And then we got a new quest from the Marshal to bring me his head for 500 gold pieces. So we had a meal and a long rest, set out the next day, heading to the mountains looking for Garrick. We went through the vineyard where there were wolves. We skirted them and left them to eat the fruits of our yesterday's labor, which were the bodies, if anybody was wondering. So we found the cabin in the mountains and kind of went around it to make sure there was no second way out. Went in, found that the main room was sparsely furnished, but Garrick was in the second room, and Sue was able to surprise him a little bit by smashing the door into him. There was quite a fight where Garrick decided it wasn't about fighting, it was about fleeing, but he was unable to get himself out the door. So he was taken down and relieved of a large weight on his shoulders. Yeah, that was a beheading joke. So we took his magical boots and an amulet and found a chest full of the golden nuggets that had been taken, we think, from the mines. And we reported back to the marshal and collected our reward. And he said, might have a quest for you. Go talk to Marshal Dugan in Goldshire. Let's have a feast. And we enjoyed the rest of the night. And that's where I will let the narration pass to the DM.
Ooh. So, you're looking at Goldshire from about 400, 500 feet away, seeing the buildings popped up. There's three, it is a small little crossroads style town with an inn and a general goods store and what looks to be a smithy. Pepper, you're looking at the small rock you have in your hand. A little polished white stone with a blue swirl on it, and thinking back to leaving Northshire behind and the Abbey behind when Brother Niles flagged you all down and thanked you profusely for getting the vineyard taken care of and allowing the production of wine again. And for this, he gave each one of you one of these little stones. And he said that they're used, you can use them once a day, but before you can use them, you need to complete a ritual in a building of some sort. The requirements are a building, a safe building, that you cast this ritual in. And then once per day, you can activate this stone, and it will return you to that building where that ritual is performed. You each have a hearthstone, is what these are called. You've heard of them before, but you had never actually owned one. So you can all put a hearthstone in your inventory.
Awesome.
The ritual takes 10 minutes to do, like any ritual. Cast of a spell. This is where the name Hearthstone comes from. These are actual things. You start with one in your inventory in World of Warcraft. But yeah, you bind them to a building. Typically in World of Warcraft to inns. But a safe building will do for our game.
Cool. Genius,
Once a day from anywhere in the world, you can end up safely home. Be on an entirely different continent, all the way across the world. Activate it and go home.
Nice.
Problem is if you need to get back, it's a long trip back if you're on the other side of the world.
I'm not seeing it in the inventory.
It is not. You'll have to create it.
Okay, so custom item then.
Custom item. Just put custom item in called a Hearthstone. And I know what it does. It's a very simple thing. So approaching Goldshire, there is the what you think is a smith on the right, and on the left an inn with a general goods store next to it. Alongside the smith, there is a gentleman sitting there. Not sitting, he's standing. He's actually currently feeding two large animals. These large griffins. And as he's feeding them, a third one lands right next to him, and a rider gets off. And the rider hands him the reins and goes and walks into the inn. And the third griffin sits down on another nest area where it's comfortable, and he feeds it what looks to be some sort of small animal, a cougar or a wolf or something. He's thrown to them. They seem happy, but they're all girdled up with saddles and a bridle and all that stuff, and look like they're made for riding. You guys do know what these are. This is a public mode of transportation that you have seen. There are paths that lead from one place to the next. You know, you could probably take one of these griffins up to Stormwind and many other places, out west, down south. But they only go to places where there are like bus stops, basically. So wherever you find another one of these, and you can even ask the gentleman if you like, he'd probably tell you where they go. It does cost a fee, though. The upkeep of them and paying for their food and everything is a bit pricey.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. All right, anything else we need to do at the Abbey? Otherwise, start talking to the Griffin keeper.
Well, you are actually in Goldshire.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
Yeah, the thought about the Hearthstones was a flashback to Brother Niles giving you that. But you are 500 feet outside of Goldshire right now. Coincidentally, from Northshire to Goldshire, there isn't a griffin path. Or a flight path, as they call them. So what would you like to do?
Well, we should probably go find Marshal Dugan.
Maybe
Sounds
a
like
good
a
idea.
plan.
Where do you go looking?
So is there an abbey or anything?
There's an inn, there's a general store, and there's what looks like a smithy with these griffin nests outside it. Small
Yeah,
place.
I don't think Marshal McBride gave us any indication of what type of quest. What did he say? The only thing I remember hearing was something about they know where the head of the kobolds is or something like that.
Yeah,
Or they know who he is.
They're having their own kobold problem, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. That's what you were told.
I don't think he was like, go talk to Marshal Dugan. He's a threat or anything.
Yeah. They feel they may have located the leader of the kobolds, and taking care of him may take care of the kobold issue in Elwyn Forest.
I'll be honest. I would look for the most official looking building. So if one looks more upkept, like maybe like it's like a dual, like, you know, like a hotel restaurant slash, you know, so like if the inn has like an official look to it, like an inn slash marshalage.
Yeah, there's nothing official to it. In fact, looking at it, you really got no clue where he would even be here. Like, it's an inn, a general store, and a smithy.
All right, I'll go to the general store.
Yeah, I'd like to pick up some general goods.
General goods.
General goods.
Is the marshal at the general store? That would be actually really, really funny. But you walk into the general store nonetheless. And there is a human female behind the counter. Blonde bob haircut. She looks at you. Oh, can I help you? You look like adventurers. I'm not sure I'm going to have much for you here. If you need foodstuffs, that would be at the inn. I do have like torches and backpacks and some things like that, but is there something you're looking for?
That's not something, my fair lady. We are looking for someone.
Ooh.
Are you familiar with Marshal Dugan?
Oh, yes, the marshal. The marshal, his office is over in the smith. It's a little unconventional, but he was a smith by trade before becoming a marshal. So, yeah, if you head over to the smithies, his office is there, and yeah. You're not in trouble, are you?
Oh, no. We are not. We are here to offer our services to the marshal. We were asked to come down and assist him.
Oh. Is this about Billy?
And who is Billy?
the McClure kid that's missing. No? Oh, never. Well,
Well,
go
maybe
talk, I'm sure he's got reasons and things. Go talk to the marshal. He'll know.
tell me more about this Billy child that has been missing. What's the deal? What's up?
And Billy McClure, the McClure Vineyard is south of here. Billy McClure regularly goes missing. For a day or two, he'll be missing, then he'll just show up, and no one thinks twice of it, but he's been missing for the better part of a week now, and people are starting to get worried, especially Mom McClure. I mean, clearly. Moms are that way, right?
Where is this
So
vineyard?
that's kind of the
sorry.
kind of the talk of the town. It's to the south. It's south of here, off a little to the west.
Pepper comes up and she found, I'm assuming that they would have weaver's tools and woodcarver's tools.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then, yeah, she'll come up with those and then ask if they also have leather workers' tools.
Yeah. If you go down that hallway, or the aisle to the left there, in the back corner, they're kind of all the leather working stuff is kind of stuck back there. Yes.
All right, so she goes and runs back. She puts those two on the counter and goes and runs back. By the way, she's got the fast crafting, or crafter feat, so she can make some things. So she's like, finally a store, and we have gold.
We have gold. I'm gonna spend it all.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't expensive, but she's like, I never
No.
could before.
Does feel right.
Do you have the prices of those up?
I'm
Where you
looking
going?
them up.
You're looking them up. Okay, cool.
While Pepper
Yeah.
is shopping, Sue would say for the group that if we happen to make our way to this vineyard, and I'll look at Grimhawk like, wine? Huh? Wine? We'll see if we can't help find this missing child.
Just keep an eye out for him. He's 10, maybe 9. Did
What
he have
does-
his birthday?
What does
I
he
remember.
look like?
I remember he's got blonde hair, very skinny, freckles. Yeah, gangly like a 10-year-old, awkward looking.
What was his name
Or at
again?
least Billy McClure. If you can keep an eye out for him, if anyone finds him, I'm sure Mom McClure will be very, very happy to see her son again.
Is the dad's name John McClure? May we remember him from such films as
Die Hard?
Simpsons reference, anybody? Hi, I'm John McClure. You may remember me from such films as...
No, Dad's away to war with the army. Well, both the McClure Vineyard and the Stonefield Farm. They're
Oh, that's Troy McClure. Never mind. Not John
Not-
McClure.
I'm sorry, I said Stonefield. I meant Brackwell. My bad.
Pepper brings up the third one, and it was 1, 5, and 1 golds each, so 7. It would be 7 total from the.
And she says that very matter of factly. 7 gold.
I will gladly pay for that.
So what are you going to be making us, Pepper?
So fast crafting gives me the ability after a long rest to make a few specific items, but they only last like a day because it's fast crafted, not full crafted. So if we need some smallish weapons like clubs or staffs, I can make tents and nets and things like that
Ooh.
for the day. So that market.
Did you just give the party a never-ending supply of camping tents?
That was kind of
How
my
handy would
thought.
that be in
I was
Final
going
Fantasy?
for sure for the weaver. 1 tent per day, and it lasts until the next day. That's all you need.
Where was that when I was playing Final Fantasy? Seriously.
Yeah, right?
That would have been great.
Yeah, you needed Pepper.
Maybe if you added Pepper as a party member instead of one of the other characters, you would have it in the supply tents.
Yeah, right. That's
that
the
game would
trick.
be
You gotta name your black mage Pepper, and then you get a never-ending supply of tents.
It's like the
So
it's
right
like
now,
using the Konami code instead of up, up, down, down, left, right. You just name your character. It's like a little cheat code. That'd be hilarious.
I was like naming your character Link in Legend of Zelda. Forget specifically what that did, but I remember it did something.
so for those particular kits, I can make a case, a pouch, a basket, a rope, a net, a tent, a club, a great club, or a quarterstaff.
Nice.
So, again, they only last a day, so it's not like you can go around selling them. They're obviously quickly put together. But
Or can we sell them?
Candy.
Yeah.
I think we're all. Well, I think we're all either
Regret.
lawful or good, so I don't think that's in our best interest.
I think it's time for an Ernon to join the group.
He would.
Yeah, he would.
He would. He totally would. Well.
All right,
you
with
got your
that,
kits.
yeah. Once
Found
we have
out
everything
where-
paid for, we'd go to the smithy.
Yep. You go into the smithy. It is hot in there, as you would expect. Several furnaces going with projects being mid heating. There is a smith banging away on a anvil. Anvil, folks. Anvil. I'm sorry, my mind went other places. I clarify for my own dirty mind. He's making. It looks like he's making some sort of sword. There is an office door that is open in the corner of the smith, but he's hammering away on this sword. Ching, 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 ching. He's not really paying attention at all to you guys.
Excuse me, good smith.
Oh, sneak up on a guy like that. Jeez. Hang on 1 second. He smacks the sword a couple more times, then he quenches it and sets it over on a table, a metal table. What can I do for you? You need weapons sharpened or something?
Do we? How's everybody's weapons looking?
Mine's a quarterstaff. Please don't sharpen it.
Do you want a pokey end?
Oh, I could put a nice point on the end of it.
Actually, here's a
No.
question.
Then it'd be more of a spear than a staff, then, though.
I was gonna say, could you add a knife point to the end to make it a quarterstaff with a?
I could, but daggers only do a d4 of damage, so...
I think at that point it becomes a halberd, doesn't it? Or a spear? No, a halberd, if I put a blade on it, yeah, that'd be a halberd. If I put a point on it, it'd be a spear.
I don't know. Is one better than the other?
Well,
Hey, Marshall.
A halberd can cut and, like, slash, and a spear primarily pierces and pokes. That's kind of the difference between the two.
Sounds like Grimhawk on a Saturday night.
This is a very simple blacksmith layman. Philosophical stuff will be lost on him. He is very forthright in front. Everything's just right at the front of the head with him. There is no deep thought thinking with him.
I think we're
This is not
good.
backhanded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We're looking for Marshal Dugan. Can you point us in his direction?
Oh, that office, that door right there. He's in there. He's in there last I saw. I don't know. I was kind of busy in my work though. He may have left. But if he's here, he's in there.
Thank you, kind Smith. We shall go and check him out. Back to your work. Sorry for the interruption.
What? More work? He grabs the sword and goes back. He had to get that in there. Come on. He grabs the sword and he goes back about heating it up to smith it some more. Walking over to the office door, you see a gruff-looking man in a tank top, like wife beater, that's dirty and stained with like soot. An apron hanging from around his waist. He's sitting on a stool along a bench along the wall. He's got kind of the mutton chop into the mustache thing where he's missing the middle section here. Kind of the reverse hair of what I got. Like he's got all the facial hair I don't. And he's missing what I do have. So he kind of looks up he's tinkering with something small. It looks like he's like doing some form of welding or something. And he looks up, oh, hey, can I help you? You're down from Goldshire, aren't you? It's the green skin. That's what gave it away. I had a letter from Marshall McBride.
Yeah, we were directed to come and speak with you. It sounds like you have some issues. Do you not?
I am the Marshal of Goldshire. We have many issues. Yes. Just before we get started here, you aren't allied with any orcs or anything like that, are you? He's looking specifically at Pepper.
Nope.
Like this isn't orcish blood or anything.
No.
Like you're not like half orc.
Just an unfortunate accident in an alchemy shop.
That is a truly unfortunate accident, especially to end up green of all colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have ended up blue, might have been decent. People might mistake you for Draenei or something like that, but green of all colors, man.
After a while, it just kind of grows on you.
Do not let the color fool you, sir. She is a fierce warrior.
She looks a bit more like a mage to me.
No, at this point, she's wearing alchemist supplies, leatherworkers' tools, weaver's tools, woodcarver's tools, a pack with her spell book in it, her backpack. Like she's kind of like accessorizing with many pouches and packs.
Do you look like one of those, like a one-man band where you have like the symbols between your knees and like the...
I was thinking the trash lady in Labyrinth. Who tries to give Sarah all her stuff. Everything's piled up on her back. Oh, how about this? Your teddy bear. You like your teddy bear, don't you?
Yeah, we haven't had a chance for tools in her backpack, so she's kind of wearing everything right now. Yeah. Oh, and the bag of holding, too.
Yeah. If you ask me, she looks a little bit like a tinker. You'd be traveling around making stuff and selling stuff for people.
Well, you would think. She is a bit eclectic.
Okay.
Needless to say.
Well, so I assume the problem, because this is what I contacted Marshall McBride about, is I was looking for some people to help. We think we found the leader of this kobold infestation we've had in Elwyn. My gold tooth. That's what my deputies have been calling him, Gold Tooth, because apparently he's got like a gold fang hanging out of his mouth or something. So, but he's the Fargo Deep Mine. You know, they're down between the Brackwell Pumpkin Patch and the Kluwer Vineyard. Down there. Right in between there, we believe he is located in there. Of course, with some more kobolds. And they've taken over that mine as well. I got some leads on where that gold is going.
Any information you can provide us would definitely be helpful.
Well, his name, well, they call him Gold Tooth. He's got the one gold fang. But some of that gold, like we found tracks leading down to the river. We don't know what that's about. Seems they're offloading onto boats or something. The river south of here, the Elwyn River.
That tracks with our previous findings.
Yes, that would make much sense. That they would be using such an easy mode of transportation to move this heavy gold.
got another request to you. I mean, if you're willing to go clear the Fargo Deep Mine and take care of this gold tooth, as they call him, you keep an eye out for the little kid for me.
Yes, we were.
Response to the name Billy. He's been missing longer than usual for some reason.
Yes, we can certainly do so. We spoke with the general store. Shit, I didn't even get her name. Manager lady, and.
Oh yeah. You were over there talking to Theron. Yeah, she's a nice lady.
And she informed us of this missing child.
Oh, well, how about that? Seems this is a bit of it's made its way to the gossip rounds, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Thought we kind of had a lid on this one, but town this size, everybody knows everything, right?
I'm sure that is accurate, sir. Yes, assuming that there is some form of compensation for our diligent services, we would be more than happy to assist you in ending these kobolds and finding this child.
Well, we'll talk about compensation when the job is done. For the time being, here's a marker. You take this marker over to Innkeeper Farley. Across the way there, you got free lodging while you're in Goldshire here. There's a good, safe place to stay. All of them doors got locks on them and all that. But I need to write to my superiors in Stormwind and see if I can acquire a bit more funding. With the mine being out of commission, things have been a little tight. So you're welcome to whatever you find in the mine. But it is dangerous right now, so yeah.
That is much appreciated. Thank you for the lodging. We shall take you up on it. And what time of day is it, John? How long did it take us to get,
It's like noonish.
Okay.
Midday. Midday. They don't have times. It's high noon.
It's a high noon. All right. So, thank you, Marshall. We shall take our leave and let you get back to your work. Unless there is anything else you need to speak with us about, we shall go about our business.
No. I just appreciate some help with the mine if you can, and it'll be worth your while. I'll say that much. I will say that much.
We have no doubt. And I'll do a flourishing bow to the marshal and walk out.
Oh, he kind of slightly mocks you a little bit at your extravagant bow. Like he gets real formal. Not that you see that. It's when your head is down that he does that, and the other two will notice. But then he kind of nods at you when you come up from your bow.
I'll say, don't mind old man Sue. Grimhawk will handle it. You can trust in him.
A man named Sue, huh? That might make a good song.
Well, if you can find a bard. I'm more than willing to...
I do the dabble a little bit.
I do declare. I
say,
boy. I say,
points at a
say,
stringed
boy.
instrument
I
in
say.
the corner.
He's
He's suddenly gonna become Foghorn Leghorn.
I say, boy.
No, listen here, boy. I say, boy. I say, boy. How you gonna go clear that mine with nothing but?
Yeah, chicken hawk.
I'm a chicken hawk. That's what it was. Oh my god, I'm 12 again. Yay. It's fun.
All right. So once we leave the smith, I'll mention to Grimhawk and Pepper, like, maybe we should leave our extra gear that we don't need in our inn room, so we're not weighted down as much. I'm not concerned that anybody's gonna go into our room and steal in this town.
I like this thought of Sue looking Pepper up and down at all the stuff she's accumulated hanging off of her.
Uh-huh.
As he's saying this.
Uh-huh. I don't feel like
I mean,
we
that's
should be...
really. I mean, she doesn't have armor on her. I mean, the staff is really her only visible weapon. She's other than the bags, so she definitely looks like she just came out of the mall. But other than that, like, she's not. I'll have to check and see if she's burdened at all.
You a big Robin Sparkles fan?
Let's go to
Let's go to the mall.
Ready? So yeah, let's go and let's go check into the hotel before we go about our sightseeing.
Yeah, we probably want to set our hearthstones to the room in the inn.
Yep.
So you head into the inn. On the door it says Lion's Pride Inn. Come in. There's delightfully jaunty music coming from somewhere. You don't see any musicians though. You're not sure where that's coming from. There's a gentleman in the corner drinking his ale. Looks kind of shady. Got a hood up and stuff. There is a rotund man behind the counter. Sees you guys and says, "Hey, welcome to the Lion's Pride Inn, guys. You need a room? Yeah."
We do. And we have this chip from Marshall Dugan.
Oh, hell. You guys are good. You guys are good then. Yeah, here, let me get that from you. And so I can just mark that down. That's on Stormwind. And he picks it up and he's got like a punch. And he starts scrawling on the back of it. The three of you, do you need multiple rooms or just one room? Or we got a room that's got like 2 beds. One of those beds is rather large. Like 3 of you could fit. I'm not judging. But yeah, he looks very nervous suddenly, like he said something he probably shouldn't have.
I would not be opposed to separate rooms if you can spare them.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do separate rooms. And then he takes the thing and he scrawls, and it looks like he crossed something out and then marks something else on the back of the chip. And then he's like, all right, so 3 rooms. Yes. Okay. They're all upstairs. And it's going to leave us with just one room, but that's fine. I don't have a lot of people here, especially without the Dark Moon Fair in town. But that is okay. We don't need that right now. So, yeah, I can spare 3 rooms. So here are keys, and he hands you the keys, and then he walks over, he takes that chit, and he drops it in a box. Like there's a box with a slot on top of it, like you drop a card in at a wedding. But there's like some purple magical light that glows out of it when he drops the chit in there. There we go. You are all set. You have your rooms as long as you need them. When you are done, please turn in the keys to myself or my assistant, Malika. She is not here currently, but yeah. Dinner's at sundown. So if you want food, we'll have a big pot of stew cooking over there and some fresh baked bread. The cook is hard at that right now. And yeah, if you need ale, we have ale. The ale is silver apiece. It's not the best ale, but it's good ale. It's plentiful. That is for sure. It is plentiful. But yeah. Welcome to Goldshire.
I'll leave him a gold piece on the counter and say, thank you for accommodating us with these rooms. How late?
Appreciate it. And he does the blackjack dealer thing. He takes the tip and he bangs it on the counter twice and then puts it in his pocket.
How late is your kitchen open if we were to come back later than we expect?
Stew's on until stew's empty. most of the people in the town will come by and get some. I mean, we kind of feed the entirety of the town. There isn't a lot of people here, so we do that. Yeah, feed them, and without the fair in town, stew tends to last a little longer. As long as you're here before the mid of the night, there should be stew, and it usually goes to slop about early hours, in the darkness, in the middle of the night, you know. But
Well, if we are not back by the middle of the night, things have certainly not gone our way. But
you wouldn't be using the rooms. That would be problematic.
we shall return.
I don't really care. I'm getting paid either way. I mean, Stormwind is generous. The crown is generous.
All right. Well, we shall be back for our supper. And then I'll walk away and head up to my room.
All right. You guys head up the stairs. The stairs go up the one side of the tavern room and double back on themselves to get upstairs. And there are 4 rooms upstairs, 3 of which you have keys for, numbered 1, 2, and 3.
I'll take 2.
Three?
Pick number 2, my lord. You guys go in and...
Pepper's not going to actually leave anything in the room. She's just stuffing everything in the bag of holding so that it looks like she did.
Fair enough.
Logistic question here. How long was the trip from Shire to Shire?
About 4 hours. Ish.
Okay, so multiple days haven't passed since our previous quest. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was just,
curious.
there was an overnight and the morning travel went away. Like, that's what the time jump was. It was about a 4-hour time jump.
Okay, so we probably still have the 9 wine bottles
Oh, yeah.
that we had previously. We wouldn't have. I was thinking there might have been nights spent drinking.
Nope.
But-
Well, you have an afternoon to do with what you would like to do with. What would you like to do with it?
Do you guys want to?
How far away is the mine?
Yeah.
The mine, an hour, probably.
We could. I'm assuming the vineyard is probably about the same, huh?
The vineyard's a little longer, a little further. About an hour and a half, maybe 2, depending on how your travel goes. It's in the opposite direction, too.
Maybe it's in our best interest to go to the vineyard first, maybe do some scouting, because then we could do vineyard, a couple hours of investigation, and then come back for dinner, and then tomorrow or the next morning we could go to the cave and spend all day clearing out the cave.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Better chance for wine if we head to the vineyard.
Accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if their ale is subpar.
Subpar, but plentiful.
Quantity over quality, apparently.
Yeah. Good news. There are 16 kegs of beer for you. Bad news. It's all Bud Light.
That's a hangover in the morning if I've ever heard one.
Garbage water. All right, so let's head to the vineyard then.
All right. Heading to the vineyard. You're heading through the forest lands. You do occasionally actually make a survival check for me. A group survival check. Everyone do it.
13.
7.
7.
Pepper, help us out.
14.
14, yeah, that is just enough. Despite Sue's best efforts, you do manage to avoid. You do see them, but you manage to avoid. There are several large spiders in these woods. Large, fuzzy looking, like take like a tarantula and make it about 4 feet long.
Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, you see about 3 or 4 of them on the way there, but you don't ever you're able to avoid them all, the attention of them. Approaching the McClure Vineyard, you first see the barn, the large barn, and then there's like a farmhouse. And you hear an awful racket coming from the barn. Like someone is breaking stuff or beating stuff or something is going on in the barn. It's just, yeah, you have no idea what it is, but you can hear the snapping of wood. You hear metal occasionally. It's just chaos. Doesn't sound like there's. Sounds like it may be. Is there any what? Sorry.
Oh, I was just asking. Is there any windows to peek through?
Oh yeah. There are windows.
Maybe does somebody want to stand on my back and peek through the window?
I mean, Sue's tall. I'm like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Can I actually just stand on my tiptoes?
What is it? 6'7", 6'8", or 6'9"? Jesus, you're just grown. Are you getting excited?
I don't remember what I put down.
Sue's a grower.
I'm a grower. No, actually, most of the windows are higher up. It would require a standing on shoulders or some form of piggyback ride to be able to see. Hey, who's going to be the base?
Well, I'll
Grim,
put.
apparently.
I was gonna say I can put Pepper on my shoulders. That'd probably be the easiest.
Sure, I can climb.
Yeah, you don't offer much of a height advantage, Grim, being a dwarf.
Yeah. There's no value there, except to be a stool.
Yes. You're stout, though. You're a good base. You're stout. Good sport.
Yep. That's when we think of Grimhawk, we think stool.
Mm-hmm.
So Pepper gets up on Sue's shoulders.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Looking in, you see a middle-aged, graying woman who has taken farm tools, like the different, like hoes and rakes and things, and is just beating them against the poles, the uprights that hold up the barn. She seems incredibly frustrated and angry and not fully in control of her faculties. Like she may be a bit inebriated. And by a bit I mean a lot.
Does it seem like the barn poles are taking much for damage, or it's more of an effort in futility?
This seems more like she is just taking out some frustration. She is drunk and she is beating the snot out of the barn, which is holding really well. So, but the tools, on the other hand, there are several broken tools laying on the floor. And at one point, like when you're watching her, she takes the one hoe that she's got in her hand and snaps it on the, like she baseball swings and cracks it against it and snaps right in half. And she throws it to the ground and screams and falls to her knees and just starts sobbing.
All right, I'll jump down and tell him quickly what it is and say, I think now's a good time to go in there. I think she's taking a break.
What is she?
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I'll
break me off a piece of that farming hoe.
Wow, you just wrote a country song, didn't you?
Yep, I did.
Oh, we just have to find the pickup
Ironic.
truck. All right, yeah. So I'll explain.
Pickup truck.
I would have Would Pepper be telling us? Would you be telling us as
Yeah.
you're on my shoulders? Okay.
I wouldn't be talking as I'm up there because I wouldn't want her to hear me, but kind of when I jump down, I'll quickly tell him it's woman taking out her anger on a pole.
Like sliding up and down the pole, or like beating the pole?
Beating the pole.
Wow, the entendres will not cease.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
How do you
There's
approach the situation?
a lot of broken hose in there.
Oh, she's running a brothel? Like, be more specific, Pepper.
How more specific can I be?
Barton's been converted into a strip club / brothel.
Okay, I'll explain it very slowly so that they understand.
Okay. How do you approach the situation? You gonna go talk to her?
With dollar bills out?
Make it right.
That probably hurts with
Gold
coins.
coins all over the
Yeah, I was gonna say that
yeah.
probably hurts with coins. Chucking coins at them.
Platinum.
Speaking of chucking stuff at people, someone threw a mustard packet at Lincoln Park
Oh, nice.
on stage. Dave brought a mustard packet that was thrown on stage to Mike in the middle of the show.
That sounds about right.
That's amazing. You would have had to have watched the Zane Lowe interview to get it. There's an inside joke about mustard going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this the worst thing we need is for them playing music and then mustard packets all over the stage.
Could be worse. It could be
Yes,
like a
absolutely.
full-on plastic bottle of like an actual.
Yeah. Heinz 57 mustard or whatever. Don't
Glass
throw
jar,
shit at
big
performers on
Poupon.
stage, people. Unless it's dollar bills at strippers. Anyways.
No poop on the stage.
Yeah.
No poop on the stage.
That's really
Back to the game. How do you approach my McClure here?
Should we go in? Should we go into the house and see if they know what's going on in that barn?
Yeah, that might be a better idea. Let's let her get her anger out and see if there's somebody with their faculties about them. So yeah, we'll head
Sure.
towards. Do we see anybody else? Is there anybody else around?
You don't.
What we do know, though, is that there may be brothers and sisters, but the dad, I think they said the dad was gone off to war. If this is the mom, and the boy is missing, like, unless there's siblings or other relatives, it may be empty.
I mean, there could be workers too. It is a vineyard.
There could be, yeah.
So whatever the main building is, John, that would be like
House.
production
The farmhouse.
or yeah.
Well, the there's the farmhouse and the barn. That's
Okay.
it. And looking around, you're thinking, oh, maybe they don't make wine here specifically.
Maybe they just collect grapes and send it up to Stormwind or
collect
something.
grapes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I'll head to the house.
Okay, heading to the house. The door is open, swinging on its hinges.
I'll knock on the door and announce myself.
No response. The blowing of the wind through the windows.
We back close to the barn then.
Sue's gonna actually take a walk through the house to be sure that nobody's injured.
When you walk in, and the first place you walk into is the kitchen. And as you're walking into the kitchen, the wind comes through the window and it kind of billows the curtain a little bit, and a piece of paper blows off the table and lands at your feet face down.
I will definitely pick that up and read it.
It is a letter written in a feminine hand. It says, Ma, I've gone to be with Tommy. He's going to take care of me. We will be just fine. You don't need to worry about me anymore. I know you don't like him, but our life will be okay. And it's signed Mabel.
I'll read the note out loud so everybody can hear it. Well, this could explain her anger. And I'll still
I think
go.
we should be more.
Go ahead.
I think we should be concerned because both Ma and Mabel start with M. We've been looking for M.
Ma.
I mean, always something to consider.
I'll check. I'm just gonna ignore Pepper, and I'll finish checking the rest of the house to be sure nobody else is there or hurt.
Checking through the rest of the house, you see there is a bedroom that is clearly for a man and woman, king size bed. That looks like it's only been slept on one side recently. There is paintings of you see Pa McClure, supposedly with Ma McClure, like there are paintings on the walls of the two of them. You do also see a painting of a family of four. And it's Ma and Pa and Mabel, who looks to be older than Billy. Billy's like 3 or 4 in this. And Mabel looks like she's maybe 12 in that picture. So, seeing them, you do go through, you see the bedrooms. Mabel's room is immaculate. You can tell it's her room. It's all made up. It's done up. It doesn't look like she left a while ago. Her leaving, it must have been pretty recent. Both the letter and the state of her room say that. Billy's room is a disaster. The one thing, make an investigation check as you're going through the house and you go into Billy's room here.
Just Sue, right? We're kind of hanging out.
It's up to you guys. Did you guys follow him in, or are you hanging outside?
I'm waiting outside.
Okay. Did you follow him in, Grim, or are you waiting out?
I mean, I followed him in, but I'm not going through the rooms and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, kind of digging through his room with what was it, a 3 you had?
Yeah.
Yeah. Digging through his rooms, you find a lot of just strange, weird things. All the stuff a boy would collect, a stick that's like the perfect sword. And a couple of small stones that look like they'd be real good for like a sling. Then you find a sling. There's rope and a chunk of metal and a bunch of other stuff that you find all along the stuff, but nothing that is out of the ordinary for a child.
How do you change dice? I need to change my dice. I'm rolling like dog shit.
Just go in it's
My
under
collections.
collections. It should be my dice or.
Yep. And you come out the back to the door, and you come outside and see Grim and Pepper standing there, kind of guarding the house.
Well, there's nothing else is in there.
No other siblings or workers.
No, not a sign of anybody. Looks like the family consists of Mabel, Billy, Mom and Dad. So with Mabel gone and Billy missing, it's just the woman in the shed.
And didn't you say it didn't seem like the dad was sleeping in his bed?
Nope, Dad is off to war. So I
We should
guess,
probably go check on the woman.
yeah, I guess we need to go and have a discussion with Mother. And I'll start
No better
heading
way.
towards the shed.
How do you enter the barn, basically?
I'll slowly start to open up the is there a door or is it just like sliding like
Mhm.
Okay.
There's both an access door and a larger sliding door that you like fit a wagon through if you
Okay.
wanted to.
I'm going to go to the regular door, kind of knock on it and slowly push it open and kind of yell out, "Excuse me, miss."
McClure.
You see as she is standing up, she is brushing herself off and clearly just apron up, wiping her eyes and yes, can I help you?
Yes. My name is Sue, and this is Grimhawk and Pepper. We are here to help. We're here to help you find your son.
He normally does this. He normally leaves, but he normally comes back in a day or two.
How long has he been missing?
Going on a week now. She's
Has-
clearly upset about something else as much as she's upset about Billy missing.
Uh-huh.
She's mad. You can tell she's angry inside, and she's trying to bottle that in. He will go. He'll stay out. He'll go down by the river, and he'll keep telling him not to go over there, but he'll go over by the Knoll encampment across the river, and he'll throw rocks at them. Tell him to leave them
Knolls.
alone. Sooner or later, they're going to come across that river and beat his ass, and I think that may be what happened. I don't know.
You don't seem...
Has anyone gone down to the river to look?
Went down to the river. He's not down there.
You don't seem upset about this. What has gotten you so angry?
Well, if you must know, my pain in the ass of a daughter has run away with Tommy Brackwell.
And I take it that is a bad thing.
You know, I have suspicions about Tommy Brackwell. That kid's no good. I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw him. That's for damn sure. Billy always looked up to him, though. Has me scared even more in ways that you can't even imagine.
What is
Always hanging out with those shady types.
this Tommy's deal? Is he a thief? Is he
He's the Brackwell kid from the Brackwell Pumpkin Patch. I don't trust
I-
anyone in that damn family.
I apologize. I am not familiar with the families in this area. The
Well, you have
family-
us. You have us, the McClures in the vineyard. And then on the other side of the Fargo Deep Mine, out there to the east, is the Brackwell Pumpkin Patch. And they make the pumpkins. They grow the pumpkins. We do the wine. They do the pumpkins. The harvest coming up. They're very busy right now. Some of my workers are over there harvesting. Whatnot. But my daughter has run off with that little son of a bitch. And I don't trust that kid any further than I can throw him. Like I said, always messing around with them shady types. And then my Billy, going idolizing Tommy all the time, thinks he's the bee's knees, like the coolest kid on the block. And my daughters ran away with him.
I feel like I wandered into
My
the
John's off to war, and
50s
I'm all
D&D.
alone here.
While they're talking, Pepper's going to slowly walk around, just kind of looking like she's investigating the barn, but picking up each of the broken tools and casting mending on them if she can. Takes a minute for each one. And if it does mend, she'll just like lean it up against a pole or up against the barn stall and just leave it there.
Yep.
Just kind of doing that.
Where are my dice here?
That was the cantrip I took for 4th level.
That's kind of awesome. She has no clue you're doing that. She rolled a 5. Well, okay. You want to help me find Billy? Well, you could check by the river, and you could check with the Brackwells, maybe. Maybe he ran away with his sister, following them.
Is it possible that are
The
these...
Knolls finally came across the river and took them? Yeah, that's possible too.
So we should probably check the Knoll encampment as well. The Knoll,
Maybe.
whatever.
I would head over to the my map. I would head over to the Westbrook garrison before you go messing around with the Knolls. I know they're the ones that have been keeping them in line, making sure they're staying in their territory, trying to be political and all, you know.
How many Knolls are in the Knoll encampment?
Oh, hundreds. They own that whole peninsula there. Got
Are they
hopped up
relatively
leader. What?
Are they friendly or are they hostile?
Not when you throw rocks at them, which is why I keep telling Billy, don't throw the damn rocks at the Knolls. They won't come get you.
Yes.
Knows.
All right, so
The marshal at the Westbrook garrison he would know if anything happened in that sense, and he knows about Billy missing.
so we should. What was the name of that group that's paying attention to the Knolls?
No, that's just the Westbrook garrison. The marshal at the Westbrook garrison and his deputies, they're keeping the Knolls in line. They hold the perimeter at the road so that the Knolls aren't mugging the travelers or anything like that. And they have agreed, as long as they stay in their area, they're fine to live there.
So maybe let's go discuss this with the garrison then, see if they have any insight into Tommy being missing and these Knolls. Because if they're watching, they would maybe possibly see if Tommy had actually crossed this river, or if the Knolls had crossed over this way.
Would we be map savvy enough to know if when they said the tracks from the gold mine led to the river, if that river would be the same river that leads past the vineyard here that she's referring to?
They are connected. Let me look at this map. The river she is talking about and the river, those rivers connect, but they are not the same river.
Okay. It's not a logical conclusion that if the gold was being taken to a river, that may be connected to the Billy River disappearance. Yeah. Like, there's a slight possibility, but it would be a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I think we should go take a look down by the river. See if there's a van or anything.
A wagon down by the river.
I nearly had Innkeeper Farley. I was trying to find a way to have that presented that way from Innkeeper Farley, which is not a name I created. But I'm like, well, shit, we're working with the rivers, and we have a Farley, and...
What kind of a hotel is this?
Richard, what's happening?
Rowad.
All right, yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Let me know what you find. If you find anything down by the river.
All right, so I'll...
She does a double take at most of the tools sitting up and leaning up against the post and stuff. Did you do that? She kind of looks at you, Pepper. And
and
Go ahead.
I'll get within 10 feet and use prestidigitation to like clean, kind of like her face, like if she was crying, if she had dirt or soot. I use prestidigitation. So everything will be okay. You'll see.
Is
Oh, hell. Here I had you pegged for one of them filthy orc sympathizers. You ain't half bad.
No,
are any of her tools like busted, like hardcore busted that she would need?
No, not really. I mean, what she had done to him with mending would pretty much break them.
Oh, so
Or, I mean,
mending
fix them.
mending wouldn't fix.
Mending would fix. No, mending would fix them.
Oh,
I
okay.
said break instead of fix.
Yeah, I was like, what?
yeah.
Whoopsie.
Mending can
Not
fix
bad.
like an individual break. So
Yeah.
if she would have like put it through a wood chipper, we're not getting that back. But
No.
Yeah, I wanted to know if there was anything like I'll take a minute or two and mend her tools.
You guys work through the rest of them. Okay.
And then we'll say, or I'll take a look at her and kind of give her a little head bow and say, we shall return. We are going to do some investigating and we'll see what we can find. I think at this point you should probably take a deep breath. Everything will be okay. And we can discuss this again in the future.
Okay. If you come across either one of my children, tell them their mother misses them fiercely. Please.
We shall do so.
Tell them to come home.
Of course.
And need me some tea. She kind of sadly walks out of the barn to the house.
Well, I'm going to look at Grimhawk and kind of whisper, I'm glad she said tea and not like more whiskey or ale or whatever the hell she was been drinking.
Aye, she seems a mean drunk.
Oh, can you blame her? Both of her kids are gone and her husband's at war.
yeah, she's got nothing else to think about but being alone.
Well, let's find the river and continue to the knoll encampment if we can't find the boy.
Yeah, that's probably the best
I'm not
option.
swimming. I'm not swimming across the river, so
Well,
So you guys do
we'll see when we get there.
yeah.
work your way in the general direction she pointed. It takes you a half hour or so to get down by the river. But you do come down by it, and you can see in the distance through the trees that there are like tents and stuff set up, and you do see gnolls walking back and forth here and there. Make a perception check. At this distance, it's probably kind of tough to tell.
Hey, I'm rolling better. Dirty 20.
Jesus.
Actual 20.
Natural one.
That is crazy. All
Only
right.
one.
So,
We just swapped roles.
Pepper, you're having a hard time even seeing the tents. But, Grimhawk and Sue, as you're looking at and you see some of these gnolls, you begin to notice that all of them have a blue armband tied around their left arm. Like a rag of cloth. Seems odd that gnolls are doing something uniform, but it seems every one of them has this blue armband tied around their arm.
Well, Grim, do you believe in coincidences?
It's no coincidence.
I'm gonna pull out that blue handkerchief cloth that we took off the dude and kind of look at it and see if I can kind of hold it up in front of me.
Yep.
And see if I can compare colors, if it's close, if it's...
It looks almost exact. It looks like it was maybe either off the body of one or in a less violent nature given to him? Hard to tell. There's no blood on it, so... But it is dirty. So it's...
Do you think, Grim, that there is an agreement between these gnolls and the
Defias.
Yep. The
Defias. Defias Brotherhood.
Or is it a rival gang? And they're wearing their colors.
Colors. When you're a jet all the way, from your first cigarette to your last dying day.
I have to believe that it's a clear indication that they're in the opposite group.
Because the Defias Brotherhood was wearing red, correct?
Red.
Maybe, it is possible that they are not working together. I wonder how the Defias ended up with that blue rag.
I'd like to go ask one of the gnolls with my hammer.
How many gnolls can we see?
Yeah, that was my next question, is how many can we count, like, across the way?
It's hard to count because they keep moving in and out of sight through the trees, but easily 20 to 30.
Well, Grim, you're more than welcome to test your luck. I personally,
Meta knowledge, would we be anti-gnoll, pro-gnoll? Gnolls are fine as long as you leave them alone. Like, what's the general?
Gnolls have been segregated to this peninsula by Westbrook Garrison, basically. Gnolls are kind of bad news. They're a little rowdy, and their nature is kind of chaotic. Like, they will sack a wagon going down the road, just to sack a wagon going down the road. They're kind of like the Joker. They just want to watch the world burn a bit. They thrive in chaos and cackle and laugh like hyenas when shit is in chaos. So they kind of like it all.
Sounds like losers we should be taking off the world anyway.
How wide is they're on the other side of the river?
Yeah, other side of the river, and then probably about 100 feet into the woodline. The river's like 20 feet across.
And moving?
And moving, yes. Flowing northwest out to the sea.
Well, I didn't bring a boat, and you guys are wearing metal armor.
Yeah,
ooh, folding boat. That'll be a good piece of gear, maybe.
I think
I didn't bring a boat. Hey, a folding boat.
Can we identify any bridges in the nearby area?
The only bridge you are aware of is the one by Westbrook Garrison, which is like, if I look at the map,
it's west and north.
Yeah, west and north down the river, and it's probably about an hour and a half away.
Well,
can I investigate the ground around here and just see if there's any sign of Billy, or if he had like a fort or anything?
Yeah, looking around, this is why you didn't see well across the rivers. You're kind of looking at the ground here. The thing that keep gathering your attention is in the crook of, like, there's a massive tree that has a there's a massive tree that has its roots kind of exposed and a little crevice below it. It's got a pile of just like perfectly hand-sized stones that would be really good for throwing. Just all piled into that little crook. Like someone collected up a bunch of stones that are really good for throwing and put them there.
Any tracking footprints or anything around?
There you do notice there are footprints. They look relatively old. You don't see anything that would like lead away. It's like kind of wandering along the shore here, and then back towards the vineyard. But nothing that would have, like, if he went this way, he likely went through the water.
Any signs of if any signs of him being there recently? Any like torn clothing or anything that he might have left if he was there within the last week?
Nope, nothing like that. In fact, there doesn't look like there's anything of a struggle either on any like footprints or extra footprints or footprints of someone else. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
odd.
his mom was assuming he went down here because this is where he liked to be, but there's not a guarantee. I mean, if he did go to the Brackwells or something else, we have no way of knowing that. And there's nothing here that says he was or wasn't here. I mean, obviously he was here at some point, but
Well, we can either head across the bridge or we can really go somewhere else, right? I mean, feels like.
Yeah. Because if we're going to head north, I mean, we would stop at the garrison anyways, because they're the ones that are taking care of the gnolls. So, I mean, that would be.
yeah, but not the direction. I mean, I'm looking at the map. I don't know if you guys are looking at the map, but I'm assuming so we're either, so if they're on that, like, almost like an island peninsula,
Yep.
where there's like two
that
rivers
pole-
crossing.
so there's the whole island with the Westbrook Garrison at the north end of it. All that woodland, like when I said they had a barrier set up, like the garrison has a barrier set up that protects that road from the gnolls coming out of the woods to attack that.
So, I mean,
You guys are
have
almost
the-
down where those rivers meet. Down there.
so I mean,
is
getting
where-
back isn't an issue, but it's really not in the general direction of anything else that we need to do. So,
Oh, Tom left.
I mean,
What the?
Sue is deep in thought.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
to me, I
100
mean,
100 gnolls is not something I want to get involved with, I don't think. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
if we talk to the garrison, I mean, if the gnolls meant him harm, there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it, but maybe find the truth. There's not probably going to be anything left. The garrison, if they knew anything about the boy, they probably would have sent word. Do gnolls speak a language that we would speak, or like, do they speak common, or maybe?
Occasionally you can come across one that would speak common, but they have like this gibbering laugh type language that they speak with each other.
It's funny because I took
barks
comprehend
and-
languages, but from reading it, it doesn't. I don't think it gives me the ability to speak their language.
Nope.
So
You comprehend their language.
Yeah. I
You
can
wouldn't
read
be
it,
able
or
to
I can
speak from them, but
hear
you'd
it.
be able to understand what they're doing as long as you could understand their language. I need 1 minute. Well, you guys think? I'll be right back.
all right.
I don't know. Pepper
So
thinks
I-
it's a long shot, but Pepper's not going to say no.
It's kind of silly to be here and not talk to the garrison, get as much information as we can.
The garrison's still an hour and a half away.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not going to head to the mines yet today and do anything,
No,
right? So,
no. It would be probably
Probably
beneficial
not.
to go up, talk to the garrison, and then by the time we go up there, talk to them and head back to town.
Well, heading back is instantaneous if we have our
that's right.
Hearthstones.
That's right.
Did you guys attune? You guys did attune your Hearthstones, right?
Yeah.
I assume the
Okay.
party did. I'm being generous this first time.
do they require attunement?
Not attunement. The ritual,
ritual.
performing of the ritual for the destination of them.
You have to lock in a location.
Yeah, I thought Genius had said before we left that we could.
Yeah.
So I just assumed. Yeah, I guess going forward I'll make sure that I mention that.
So you guys are gonna head to the garrison?
Yeah. Do we want to walk up the coastline to the garrison that way, just so that we can keep an eye, or do we want to travel by road, which probably may be faster?
I mean, stick to the road, right?
It would be about a horse apiece if you got on the road.
Would it?
It would take a little longer on the road just because it's a bit more roundabout, but it'd be safer. But
Less
heading
mosquitoes.
up the coast of the river, yeah, less mosquitoes. I mean, you're gonna have more mosquitoes to deal with, and they aren't the size of the spiders, but they're annoying.
You know, I'd say let's risk it walking along the river on the off chance, that 2% chance that maybe Billy decided to go venturing. Let's
agree.
go that way if we're gonna go.
Okay, so it's gonna take you about an hour and a half to get to the garrison. It's going to be close to dusk when you arrive at the garrison. But on the way to the garrison, I would like you guys to make a perception check because you're walking along the river and you can see into the knoll territory that entire time.
12.
12 for Pepper.
21.
21 for Sue.
Can ritual spells be cast while walking, or is it literally a sit down and?
I think you have to literally sit down. If
Okay.
you're sitting down in the back
then
of
I
a
would not-
wagon, sure, but
Yeah, I was not going to be casting comprehend languages then, because I only took it as a ritual.
do you have a perception check, Grim? Worth talking about?
12.
12. Okay. Pepper and Grim do not see this, but Sue, you see, and if you point it out, they will see it as well. There is a knoll that is about twice the size of all the other knolls across the river, and he's got this big black mohawk running down him and this huge axe in one hand. And he's kind of shoving the other knolls around and pushing them down as he walks through the camp.
Yeah, I would definitely point that out.
You get the feeling he may be in charge of the knolls, if there was any structure or organization, although it just looks like he's a giant bully from what you're seeing.
Yeah, I would definitely point that out.
Okay. So you guys all see that as you walk.
Is the big one wearing an armband also?
Oh yeah, it's clear and easy to see. It is because his biceps are bigger than the heads of most of the other gnolls. He's a burly, beefy, beefcake, muscular gnoll. As you guys approach the Westbrook garrison, there's a job board, message board, signboard out front of the garrison, and on that, it seems you just saw this thing that is depicted on this wanted poster. A big wanted sign and a drawing of this knoll you just saw, and underneath it says Hogger on it. And then it says inquire at garrison.
So we have some news for them.
So does that mean we're going to go hoggering?
Maybe. It's up to you guys. It's really funny because I felt like so far in this, doing this, that I was keeping you guys on rails real well. Like keeping the storyline in a general, but it's just because you were in a small area. There wasn't a lot to go and do. And now that you've moved into the open area, you've hit like 3 different plot lines all at once. It's like, oh shit! It's gonna be like wrangling cats trying to get the story to come through here now. It's fun though. I love it.
All right, Pepper, you go to the mine. Cooch, you go hogger in, and I'll
You'll look for the boy.
I'll look for the
The
boy.
really interesting thing is maybe some of these lines are related somehow.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe they aren't, and I'm going to make them related because I can.
Well, let's see if maybe the garrison has something that can bring some of this together.
All right. See, as the sun is going down, it is dusk as you're entering the garrison. Torches are being lit and hung around the garrison. Chandeliers are being lit and drawn upward to offer light. There are several different soldiers around, deputies around. As you come up, there are two actually standing in the main hall as you approach. One of them says, "Strangers, can I help you?" Did you
Yes.
grab the poster or did you leave it there?
I would not have
didn't
grabbed it. I would have.
Grab it.
Yeah, I would have. If that's something we're
left
going to
it,
talk
okay.
to them about, I would talk to them and say, "Hey, you know that big ugly thing that you have drawn on your wanted board? Yeah, we saw him."
Is that what you say?
No.
Okay.
My name is Sue. This is
Stranger.
Grimhawk, and this is Pepper. We are
A boy named Sue.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I said that.
Maybe a thing, Tom.
I know. Yep. I did it to myself.
The other one looks at Pepper and says, "You aren't an orc, are you?"
Still not.
Still not.
Everywhere you go, these are going to be the comments.
Hmm.
It's like poetry, folks. Why are you green then?
It was an accident. And they might know if this is close enough to
Your
Stormwind.
dad accidentally fell into your ma? Is that what happened? After the orcs invaded?
Well, I can tell we're in a barracks. The jokes are getting worse.
Yeah. I'm going to clap my hands at the guard and, hey, stay focused. We are here. We are searching for a boy.
Oh, Billy, you're looking for Billy.
Yes. Are you familiar with him? Have you seen him?
Well, I know he's missing. Billy McClure. Yes, he's missing. Yep, he's missing.
Yes, he is missing. So you have not seen him. You have not heard of him.
No. If I had seen him, I would have reported it, and he wouldn't be missing anymore, would he?
I
Is-
believe that's true.
I mean, that's how missing works, right? I do
This guy doesn't
understand that
miss
word
anything.
properly.
I would like to speak to your manager.
Holy shit.
Are you a boy named Sue or a boy named Karen?
I'm gonna they beat me to the kitchen, Joe. I'm gonna go get Marshall Rayner. You just keep them here.
Here's
All
another
right,
Marshall
all right,
for you,
yeah.
genius.
I was just writing it down. I didn't hear the name, but I heard Marshall something.
Rayner, Rainer, Marshall Rayner.
All right, we'll wait for Marshall Rayner.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're waiting for Marshall Rayner. What are you guys doing, anyways?
Well, it's right now.
You're
Pepper's
looking for
looking
Billy?
around to see if there's food.
Yes, we are looking for Billy.
All right. Well, good luck with that. He's been missing longer than he usually goes missing. He usually goes missing about a day or two. He'll show up. So no one really worries when he's gone, but then like now he's been gone for like a week.
Has he ever made it this far when he's been gone?
Oh, he's come up
Does
here,
he come
yeah.
this way?
Oh yeah, he comes up here and he talks and gawks and asks a million questions, like a 10-year-old boy would.
Do you have scouts that leave this area and just kind of pay attention. We're under the impression that you keep tabs on the knolls. Do you have scouts that venture south and would keep an eye on them?
South of the road, yeah, but we kind of hold the perimeter for them so that they just, like, we've granted them their land. The only one that really doesn't listen is that Hogger guy, that big one. He comes out and he does whatever the fuck he wants and then goes back, and hence the wanted poster out front.
Yeah?
So why don't you take him to justice then?
It's kind of big. Little scary.
Diplomatic immunity.
And he's a bit slick when it comes to the, like, disappearing shit. Needless to say, we haven't been able to pin him down with more than 1 or 2 men, and he seems to take care of them just fine.
So you're not interested in going into the Knoll territory and fetching him out?
No. The couple of guys that were unfortunate enough to find Hogger by themselves, they ended up. We got their bodies back, but letters to families and stuff, that's hard to deal with.
What do the rest of these Knolls think of Hogger?
I tend to fear him. A few of them get a little snippy with him when they see him and stuff, but fiercely loyal, strangely enough, despite the brutality of him towards his underlings. I don't know if they're afraid of him or if they're just... I don't know. Pack leader of the pack. Whatever. I don't know how that works. I'm not a Knoll. I mean, human.
Sure.
He tugs on his
Have you
ear
guys,
as if to say he isn't an elf.
Yeah.
Has anybody
Racist
here checked to
motherfucker
see if you have any Knoll contacts or any Knolls that might speak English or speak Common? If Billy might be somewhere in their territory, if he would have crossed the river, if they would have came over and got him.
I don't know.
You guys.
We have 1 or 2 that will speak to us. We call them Gibber and Giggle. I don't know if they'll if they'd know or we'd be able to, I mean, we've communicated some things to them. We've kind of been able to give them the idea that that land is theirs type thing. So I don't know if we'd be able to, if they'd understand what we were asking. We can try. Could definitely try, I think. At this point, Marshal Rayner comes down and says, Can I help you? And like, he looks like his eyes are adjusting to the light in here.
Yes. We've been inquiring about Billy.
Yeah, they're looking for the McClure kid. Oh.
Have any reports come back to you about this child being seen in different areas of your island here? Or
No. Nothing like that.
and no sign
Straight
of
up
him
and up.
down by the knolls? No word that the knolls have captured?
No. No, nothing with the Knolls. Haven't captured them. We have noticed lately, though, that they've taken to wearing armbands, which is very strange. The blue armbands. I don't know if they're mimicking the Defias or they're mocking the Defias, but it's clearly a similar indication as to what the Defias have been doing.
It feels like the
Thankfully,
knolls are not smart enough to be grouping together like this with some specific banding.
That I would agree with. They're pack animals. The nice thing is that they keep the Defias away, which is kind of why we have them here. Because the Defias problem in Westfall is even worse than it is here. So, this is kind of a nice way to deter the Defias from coming into Elwyn and but they're still sneaking in. Pockets of them around here.
Is
Like
it
I said, I
possible-
don't know if that's a mockery of them, or if that's a like ideology of them, or what they're doing. But
Is it possible that Billy could have been rounded up by the Defias, that he could have run into them and they could have taken him?
it's a possibility I've considered, but I haven't found any evidence to support that theory.
And have you gotten a good head count of the gnolls to the south?
The nature of gnolls is one of violence and chaos, not order and counting. Even if we wanted to count them, we'd be a hard time to get them held still long enough to count them. Best we can estimate, there's somewhere between 200 and 300 gnolls in that island area there. And one big one, and a couple of other sizable ones that will get snippy with him occasionally. But them blue armbands is something funny, because they all seem to wear them. Even the ones that don't get along well. We're still trying to make sense of that, and the only one that seems to get off the island every once in a while is that Hogger. He's managed to kill a few of us, and
When
something
when
we're
he
looking
gets
forward into going for.
when he gets away, does he go across the river? You think, or is he sneaking out by the bridges?
I really wish I knew, because if I knew, we'd be able to possibly try and stop him, but we don't know. We don't know how he's getting out or where he's getting out, or just know there's been an unfortunate few soldiers that have encountered him that have not left with all their faculties intact, shall I say.
I'm going to turn to Grim and Pepper. It seems like we have some decisions to make. Do we kill this Hogger in the hopes that maybe going south we can find Billy? Do we sneak into the Gnoll camp to see if maybe they are holding Billy? Or do we go to the pumpkin patch and see if the other family is taking on more family than is let on?
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind you hanging out here for a while. If I did overhear you correctly, though, if you do manage to off Hogger and you can bring back some proof that he's dead, there's a sizable gold reward for that. It's 500 gold for that creature's head. Something to consider if you're considering weighing options of doing stuff.
Do you?
Heard Marshall Dugan's got a problem with the Fargo Deep Mine too. He may have some money for you for that.
Do you have a spare boat? Like something that would be able to go down the river?
I might be able to find a boat. We don't have one on hand.
Okay.
It'd take a day or so, but I think I could find one.
That may be handy, as I kind of glance towards Grim. That may be handy going forward to have something like this maybe sitting at the vineyard.
We haven't really considered that the boy might just show up if he is on a jaunt. So we may want to just perform our mind tasks and check in.
Mhm.
Yeah, at this point, maybe we would find him going down to kill Hogger. Maybe he will show up in general if he is in that camp. Or maybe if we go and kill Hogger, that would give him the opportunity to escape if the gnolls are distracted.
I'm a little wary of of visiting the Knowles camp on their in their territory. Could we be starting a war?
Marshal Rayner, if the Knowles leave their area, are you prepared? Are you equipped enough to wipe them out?
We do have some means, but we'd like to avoid using such means. It could be catastrophic for the greater half of the Elwyn Forest to take those means into effect, but if it does come to war, we're confident we could take care of the situation.
Okay.
Do the gnolls provide any benefit other than creatures that exist in the world?
They're kind of keeping the Defias on the Westfall side of things and not on the Elwyn side of things. It's kind of why we left them alone.
Colors.
It is also clearing out a gnoll encampment of 200 to 300 gnolls may get the attention of some folks in Stormwind that would look down upon mass slaughter of a tribe, should you say, of indigenous folk. We'd like to avoid that connotation about the Stormwind military.
Yes, I can see why that would be problematic.
Sue, I think we'd be better off waiting until we catch Hogger outside of the encampment, if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think it's getting late. We should probably go get some food and
We can
spend tomorrow clearing out those mines.
discuss this strategy over dinner and figure out our next steps. Yes, Pepper, I agree. That is probably the best of choices at this point.
Well, we do have a few rooms for you if you like them. It is getting late. Sun's down.
We do appreciate the hospitality. However, we have a faster way of getting back to the rooms we have already procured back in the Goldshire.
Are Hearthstones common? Like, is this something where he would freak out if he saw we had a bunch of them, or it's pretty normal for adventurers?
They aren't rare. Adventurers would be the type of, like, not everybody has Hearthstones, but adventurers and travelers, there are people that do them. There are merchants that have them and stuff like that. So it's not going to be a thing like where he's like, oh my god, they disappeared type thing. Like, there's a very...
They would be blue uncommons?
Out of character, there's a very specific animation that happens when you use them, so he would be able to tell you used a Hearthstone. No, there's a spell effect that into the air that is not unknown or uncommon, especially to the military.
All right.
Like, some commoners may go, whoa, you're adventurers type thing, and be a little awestruck by it, but a military member, a marshal, isn't going to be like surprised.
Well, I think we've got everything we need here, and it's running out of time for the day, so
Literally.
Get back home.
Was that in character or out of character, Jeff? I mean,
yes, it was.
Yes, it was. All right, so you hit your Hearthstones.
Mm-hmm.
And you each appear in the place where you. Yep, this is literally. And there's like a magical thing that comes down over you, and you flash a light, and you appear in your room where you, or wherever you.
I'd like to think Pepper left behind a puddle or a pile of glitter as part of the spell effect.
It's a prank she does. She just throws a handful of glitter in the air just before the spell effect takes place, and then glitter is all that's left behind. No one else's do that. It's just hers.
Yeah,
I'd also
that
like to
feels accurate.
make sure we start identifying our party name pretty soon, so we can tell people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Glitter bombs. Yeah, the martial ranger kind of walks over and kind of runs his foot through the glitter and is like, son of a bitch, that's gonna get everywhere.
Goddamn kids.
That's where we'll leave it with you guys.
What we
Clearly,
doing
you
with
went
that?
back. You went back. You got food. You had a long rest. We'll pick up in the morning the next day. But we pan out from Marshall Rainer going, son of a bitch, that's gonna get everywhere. And we can have Tom Norman take us out of here because it is 10 a.m.
Woo! We are Two Nerds and Quest. We are here Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Time. Join us, twitch.tv/TomMNorm, TOMMNORM. Or hit us up on our YouTube channel, bit.ly/nerdtube. You can see all of our old shows, all of our video archives are there on YouTube. Give us your Amazon Prime subscription on Twitch. It costs you literally nothing. You're already paying for Amazon Prime. Yeah, you're already paying for Prime. Might as well, donate that Twitch Prime sub to us. Helps us improve the show, helps us get some extra audio samples and stuff like that. So, yeah, the podcast, you can get the podcast unedited. Patreon.com/2nerdsonquest. $1 a month gets you all of our unedited podcasts. They come out Sundays today after the show. The regular edited podcast will drop Thursday mornings, except for this past week where I forgot to attach the actual audio file. So that came out yesterday. But you get like 5 days early podcast drop-in by joining the Patreon. Ratings and reviews. Rate and review the podcast. Ratings and reviews will help us get found. So wherever you get your podcast from, give us that rating. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you're enjoying the show or not. Leave us just random messages. Those are fun too. Yes. So with that being said, for me, for Cooch, for Genius, and for the DMJC, there, nerds.
Down.
Gnolls and kobolds and Billy. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.